It's allergies.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we left off with some of the self-defense stuff. We finished off with the hip throw off of a haymaker, like blocking that, using more or less a Muay Thai block to catch that, and then to do a hip throw or a Sotogari after that. Before that, we were doing some headlock defenses, and we're going to do that on the ground too. But since we had just did the kick, punch, we'll do the kick too. Now, I don't find that in like a street self-defense situation, people are going to kick you that often, but that is one of the techniques that are taught in the curriculums for self-defense. So we'll go over that real quick too. It's a really simple one. So what we're going to do is like we call a roundhouse kick. It could be a kick basically to my body from either of their legs, but usually it's the back leg, so I can kind of expect that one. And I can catch it, but I don't want to just catch it because it's going to kick my rib. I believe it only takes 8 pounds of pressure to break a rib. So I actually want to move away from it as I catch. So when she goes to kick, I catch like that. Now I want to come in close because from here, she can still try to punch me. So I keep this grip on her leg, but I want to get in close and I just hold the back of her neck. And my head is close to her head. My rear leg is going to step through and behind. Trip her down. When I trip her down, I don't want to like hold the head anymore because I'll get pulled down. I also want to perform like a little squat. It's going to also keep my balance. And my chest goes over her chest. I'm going to start to fall forward. Because remember, self-defense, so we're trying to get away after that. So she goes to kick. I catch. I move away and catch. Get close, and I turn my head away so I don't get headbutt or punched. Sure. Okay. And notice I let go and I squat just a little bit. It's going to keep me from falling. Okay. I don't want to fall on top when I trip her. Does anyone have questions on that one? All right, let's try that real quick. Your dummy can't kick you, Alex. So we got Juan doing it. Re-stomp the groin.
I didn't even stay there and watch Alex.
Good.
It's basically just, it's all it is a sweep.
It's our single leg finish, right? When we do a single leg, that's usually the way we trip them down.
Sit. Oh, you do have a friend.
Yeah, he made it.
You made it with yeah.
He knows how to break ball.
Yeah. So Juan, so when I do the trip part, I don't have to like chop at her leg or anything. I'm just gonna step behind it, and then look, I take another step with my other foot. That's enough to trip her down. Because when I'm going forward, it makes her go backwards. If my foot's behind her leg, it makes her trip, right? So I just put it behind her and then take another step.
You got a chihuahua?
Step behind, and then step again. Yeah. Yeah, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you're gonna switch.
What did you do? Yeah.
Yep. And then take another step with your left leg.
Yeah. What's that?
No, you're good. Catch, step, and step again. Or trip. Yeah. He's doing spider guard down there.
I know, I see. He's good. Getting good.
Arsenio's watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn his tricks so when he gets in the gym, you already know him.
Yeah, look at he got a triangle.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know. So right now. Yeah, I gotta change mats.
Yeah. All right, so we did the headlock. Let's review real quick the headlock from when we're standing. So what we did, we of course blocked the arm so we don't get hit anymore, so we don't get punched. Don't let go. So we don't get punched. All right, and then I'm stepping in, hipping in. My back arm comes behind. I'm pushing her face away, and that's gonna help make her fall, right? So I'm not gonna go over all the technique, that's on the other video, but that applies on the ground. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're on the ground, and she puts me in the same type of headlock. And my arm back.
I was
I had it out of the way.
Yeah, I know you.
All right, so what we're gonna do is the similarities here. We're taking this far arm over the shoulder again, pushing the chin away. Now my feet on the ground, I'm gonna start shrimping so that way we're north-south. 1, 2, 3, and then the leverage will start to make her fall back. So now come back up in base. And remember what we do here, we push this to the ground, posturing, catching the arm, and running away if need be. So, one more time. Yeah, just a different angle. So, this same angle or different? This side. Right. So push the chin, shrimping. 1, 2, 3. 4. Go to the knees. Pin your hand on the ground. Posture.
Can you guys see it?
So that'll be the ground self-defense of the headlock.
So the top position is Keisugatami, right?
Yeah, Casey.
Keisugatami, yeah, judo Keisugatami.
Okay.
No underhook.
Yeah.
So you're escaping, Alex.
A headlock, like a schoolyard headlock. So go ahead and hold his head. From that side, you're going to hold it with your left arm. Like you're. I call it the nug, but he doesn't know what the nug is. There you go.
I understand it.
Check.
Alex, you need to do videos doing this stuff dummy, man, because that's
It's too hard. The dummy's too light. So when I sit back.
Say it again, Arsenio.
No, I was saying Juan's son has obviously never been bullied. He doesn't know how to put somebody in a headlock or get headlock.
Yeah.
Get me a little. So you're gonna go through here. Is this?
No.
Okay. Juan, look here. Look here, guys. So if I put Rita in a headlock while I'm standing, right? Got her, right? And then I throw her to the ground. That's where we land. So that's what she's gonna get out of. Go ahead. This is my chin. She shrimps. Sit up. Legs out. So think of it that way. Like you had the headlock and you threw them down. Go more north-south, one. Keep spinning. Yep. And you got to make them look towards the wall. Yeah, look away. Good. Keep going. Keep shrimping your legs. There you go. And you pin the ground and posture. Yep. There you go. And elbow strike. So the problem before, in the early part of it, is you weren't getting them to look away. So you had a little bit of leverage on you. Yep. Get them to look away. And then when you shrimp, your body is no longer under him, and that's why he falls to the mat. Keep shrimping. There you go. He went through his belly too.
Yeah. It's the
Because he's not trained, so he's gonna do things like that. He's gonna go to his belly when he shouldn't, and stuff like that. Let's see. So So that's the curriculum for the self-defense, at least for blue belt. But there's other things you want to think about when it comes to street application. So just in general terms, because it'd be way too many things to go over. In general terms, you have to think about, can they punch you, right? Can they kick you? Can they stomp on you? Can they bite you? Can they just in general, like hold your head or a limb in a position, which we kind of already deal with jiu-jitsu, in a position where you wouldn't be able to get out. Jiu-jitsu usually takes care of that part of it. So mainly the strikes and bites and eye gouging, things like that, stuff on the street. Ability for them to pick up weapons, right? So if we're grappling them, they shouldn't be able to just go grab a weapon. But if we're striking, for sure they could go grab a weapon, right? So we need to have some of those things in mind. Some of your more dangerous positions would be like going inverted, right? Stuff like that. If they have friends around, you know, guard may or may not be the best position, right? You could use someone as a shield. So if someone's trying to kick or punch you while you're fighting their friend, you could use their friend as a shield. So when they try to hit you, they actually hit their friend. So using grappling positions to put the other person in the way of the other opponents, that's something you want to keep in mind. You don't want to have your back to the friends, right? So positional awareness, controlling what I call controlling the mat. You'd want to be able to do that in the street scenario where you control your position to where you can see everything that's going on. I call it triangulating. You want to triangulate yourself to where you can actually see everybody, right? You're the point of the triangle and you can see everybody that's a danger, right? I wouldn't want to be in a position where there's someone back there, like where Rita is, and I can't see her barely in my peripheral. I just see her knee. You want to be able to see everyone. So I would just move to where now I can see everybody. I can see you guys, I can see her, you know, and actually in this scenario, I can't see who's coming through the doorway. So I might start circling around and getting to a position where I can see everything. But that's with multiple people, but triangulate, make sure you can see where everybody's at, you know where everybody's at, and you have an escape route that you could get away. For a one-on-one, think about the punching, the striking, right? The kicks, the knees, the elbows. You always got to think about that. So like we use turtle a lot. You wouldn't want to stay in turtle for very long. You know, they can start hitting you. You can start elbowing, knees, right? Turtle's not a spot you want to stay. So when I'm grappling and I'm worried also about street scenario, I'm not going to stay in turtle very long. I'm going to stay in turtle. Make sure my turtle's good. Practice turtle, right? Make sure that your turtle's not one that is easily like getting your back taken or submitted. But then at some point in your mind go, okay, so now if this was the street, I wouldn't want to be doing this. It's time to get out right now, right? And so you can put yourself a sense of urgency to now escape, get out of that turtle. Don't just hang out, right? There's times where I'm mounted and I'm defending the mount and I'm just working my defense. See the dog jitsu. You can do moves on your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And then
That's a partner there.
so there's times where I'm like mounted and then I'm like, all right, this is enough, because if it's in the street, I can't just chill here and it's time to get out, right? And so having that sense of urgency to get out of the bad positions, stay there for a little while so you can practice your defense, right? And make sure that your grappling is solid there. But then if you're worried about street scenario or fighting MMA scenarios, you want to think about those strikes and say, okay, yes, this isn't really where I want to be. So let's put a sense of urgency on this and get out right now. So half guard's not so bad. I can bury my head in real close. So half guard. So if I'm here in a half guard, I can bury my head real low, and she can't really hit me here. Can you hit me? Yeah, in the back of my head, she could hit me, right? She could elbow. So there's a sense of urgency here. I'm not gonna get hit in the face, but it doesn't feel good to get hit back there. Start working your sweeps and getting out of there, right? So you gotta have some sweeps that you can do kind of fast. When you're in these positions that you know are dangerous, you gotta work those sweeps or passes or whatever they might be to a point where when enough's enough, you know you can get out of there, right? So that way, if you're on the street, you could just, and the good news on the street is they probably wouldn't know a lot of these moves and counters. MMA, you might not have that luxury, right? So you gotta be good at a couple moves from every position. So if they become a dangerous position to be in, you can get out right away. Half guard top, pretty much topped. You're not so worried about anything. There's more the bottom positions where people can strike. If they're on bottom, they really can't strike that hard because they can't wind up past the ground, right? I can't really get any rotation in my strikes. You know, maybe an up kick. I just saw a thing. There was only 2 up kick knockouts in UFC so far, but they're devastating when they happen. So guard is a position you gotta worry. So let's work on guard. So guard, obviously punches. I gotta worry about the punches. What I like to do for punches is bicep ride, okay? So yeah, she goes there. I just block the bicep and I'm already bringing my knee up. My hand slides down to the wrist. So now she can't hit with this one. Try to hit with that one. Right? So she's definitely going to try with the other. Right? Boom. And now try to hit.
You can't.
So you can't move at all. Right? And then, of course, I got omoplatas and all kinds of stuff. I can go triangles. But the main thing is I'm not getting hit. Right? So I like this guard a lot because I'm eliminating strikes. Right? If she stands up, I can start to do my sweeps. Tomonagi, all the good stuff. So I like bicep ride for the self-defense, right? Some guys will put a lot of pressure on you. For street, like people who aren't trained, they like to try to put all their weight forward, try to either choke me here or hold my head or anything like that, right? So you gotta know the hook sweep. So I put one foot under her knee, the other one over her knee. Sweep. Okay. The hook sweep is a really good sweep because they tripod all their weight over top of your face and chest, thinking that's going to smash you, but all the weight came off of their legs. So a simple hook sweep is a good sweep for the street, right? So bicep ride. I'm going biceps like a block, almost like karate. And my shin goes to the elbow, slide down to the wrist. Boom. I don't try to catch the fist, right? She tries to punch and I'm trying to catch the fist. I might miss and I'm getting hit. I go bicep because it barely moves. Every time I can go and like chop at the bicep. Okay. And then my knee comes inside of my arm. I know where my arm is, and then my hand slides down the wrist. The other side comes, boom, boom. Now I'm good. You can do anything you want from here. All right, so let's just practice that a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta grab the front. Yeah, you go.
Good. And make sure on the bicep ride, your knees are going out like a butterfly stretch, and you're pulling the wrist towards your hips too. Yeah. So you're really wrapping his arms around your shins.
There you go. You got omoplata.
Yeah. That's a good guard for jiu-jitsu too, Arsenio.
Yeah.
Good guard, yeah. You like that? Yeah. Really simple. You don't got to be flexible.
Try to punch him.
Is that like a modified spider?
A little bit, yeah. It's like a spider guard. You're using your shins.
You just
Yep.
use it? Okay.
And the feet are on the hips, right? You can see he's doing it. His feet are on the hips. Now he wants to point his knees out. Put your shin right into the crook of the elbow, just like you would the foot on the spider guard. And you can't get any punches out. If it does come out, if he does break the grip somehow, you catch it and do it again, you know? Yep. And then the hook sweep. So for the hook sweep, the top person, you're going to put your chest over their chest and try to hold under their head, or even the forearm in the throat. And then you get up on your toes. So I'll go under her head so I'm not choking her the whole time. You get up on your toes like you want to really put that pressure. One of her feet goes, sweep me the other way. One goes under my knee with the knee pointed out, and the other one's draped over my knee. Now she just elevates. And that's called a hook sweep.
It's like the hook sweep after the scissor sweep. You guys.
Some of them don't know that sequence yet.
I did teach them in the morning at 6 a.m. I don't remember who was here yet. Yep. Scissor sweep, then hook sweep.
Go ahead and hold under his head for now. Yeah, you could do that too. That's fine. Yeah, so one's over and one's under. So, yeah. And you're going to sweep them towards the camera. Kick them towards the camera. Yep. There you go. Nice. That was good.
Are there any upper body grips on that, Brian?
Depends on so I went off just the idea of them being over you. The feet are what's most important. The
Right.
upper body is really going to depend. So what I did is I took, I guess in both situations, if the arm's under my head, I can just block her tricep so the arm stays under my head. Now she doesn't
Right.
have a post, but that means I need to sweep her to that direction. So the side that I'm holding, that's the side where I block the knee with my foot. The other side is the one lifting her knee. If she's choking, I could hold the forearm so I'm not getting choked as bad, and just don't let that come loose when I go to sweep, right? Or I could block the tricep. If I can deal with the choke, right, just kind of tough it out a little bit, I can block the tricep, right? But if the choke's tough, bring the choke down a little and then sweep. Just don't let go of the arm. Yeah. Alex.
Would this be your go-to for a Sao Paulo pass?
Sao Paulo pass?
Yeah.
When someone tries to do that on me? No.
Yeah. Is this what you would go for or no?
No.
No. Okay.
Sao Paulo is different. Okay. Sao Paulo is like the arm behind the back pass. So go guard. Sao Paulo, getting the hips over here, right? So there's no hook sweep, because all my weight, if I do it right, is over here, right? And I start pushing that down, stepping over. There's a bunch of ways to pass after this, right? So what I looked for there is not allowing my hips to get killed. I don't think Rita does this too often, but try to do it on me. The pass I was just doing. One that Joe actually did. Okay. So what I try to do here is I try to take her that way, right? It took some core effort with my core and my legs. Keep going. But if it gets too much, here's what I like to do. This hand, start pushing the head that way.
Ah, okay.
Right.
All right. Okay.
If it's the arm behind the back style, I like to bait that for a triangle.
Oh man.
So if she puts my arm behind my back,
Yeah, I see it.
and she goes through the same path. Just not all the paths.
This little.
Right here. I'm gonna go
Wait,
there.
I have my hand.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm gonna do my. Then I take this out. Now I have the triangle.
Yeah.
So
Thank you,
depends.
Alexander.
Depends which style.
I was raised like myself.
Sorry. I know that wasn't in the curriculum. I just thought that.
Juan, anything else for self-defense or street that you're worried about off the top of your head? He's got-
One, any sweep?
Hold on. He's muted. You got it?
When there's a Mexican drug cartel after you.
That's why I carry a Kimber 45 with an extra magazine.
Ah, okay. All right. Why does that happen to you often, Ron?
Full mount, basically somebody raining down elbows and punches on you.
They have mount. Okay.
Okay, I have one.
So
I got what? The elbows under my hands on the
you're
elbows?
trying to punch me. So every time she goes to punch, right?
I want
So-
to punch you.
No, you're pushing my face. Punch me. Right? So,
You have no balance when you're punching somebody.
right, that's the idea. So every time she went to punch, I'd bump a little bit, and she's either gonna miss me and punch the ground, or she's not gonna punch, right? And then if she commits to the punch, or she goes to put her hand down for balance, I grab it, right? Some of the blocks were just like the bicep ride, I blocked inside. When she kept seeing me try to block inside, she'd try to punch a little straighter. I would push it to the other side. So I go either here or here, right? And I'm also slipping. So she's on top. So I'm bumping when she punches, but I'm also slipping. I'm moving my head. Yep. You show the hand too? See? Yeah, I know you are. Right? And now I have a hand, right? Good. So I'm just a mixture of bumping, slipping, right? Catching. Once I have a hand, don't let it go, right? Don't just block it and think, oh yeah, I'm cool, right? I'm blocking everything. No, block it. If you can keep it, keep it. Then they're gonna try to hit with the other one. You gotta block that without losing the one you got. If you lose it, be aware you lost it. There's another punch coming from there, right? Slip to the pinky when possible. You can slip inside. It's more difficult because there's an arc, right? So if I can't slip to the outside, I don't have time. I need to slip way inside, right? Way inside, and then wherever your head is, that's the next spot you're trying to hit. Move your head again, right? That's the new target. She wasn't going full speed, but she was trying to hit me, right? Because she knows I'll like.
Why don't you hit me? Hit me.
Exactly. I'll tell her like, come on, hit me, you know? So she was trying to hit me, just not super fast. So that's what I would say. The bumping is great for balancing them and making them not be so accurate, right? And the predictable, you know, the punches are going to be predictable usually. You know, you'll see them winding up, right?
That's right.
Because the first time she was making contact with my face, but it's because she was coming from an inch and just like kind of pushing her hand into my face. And that doesn't bother me, right? I'm worried about the big one that's about to come down and bounce my head off the ground. You know, that's the ones I got to worry about.
So basically you're using the principle of pairing the punches and slipping,
Right.
catching and holding
Yeah.
The same principles of stand-up fighting, basically parring and
Yeah.
moving and
Striking on the ground, right? I can, if I just grappled, what you end up seeing is the person hugging and they keep their head real close to the chest, which can work, but you're still there, right? So I could like just stay here, try to hit me. Yes, I can. See, I'm still getting hit, right? So it's not enough. I take a little bit off, but it's not enough. I need to, go ahead, bump, right? And get out of there. It's urgent, right? It's urgent. I can't just stay there and keep blocking. Once I get hit, every time I get hit, it's gonna get more frustrating and more painful and harder to get out.
yeah, you're looking, if I'm noticing correctly, you're looking to use her punching energy against her to rotate her in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and
Keep her post stability.
I prefer, you notice I prefer if I caught this arm to roll her that way.
Right.
But there were times that I caught this arm, so she's trying to hit me with that one. I know she's not going to post with it because she's about to hit me with it, and I'd take her that way, and she would still fall because her punch was creating a forward roll, right?
It's like a force against.
The force of the punches, it's
Because with him.
Yeah.
Because he's rolling with me when I want to try to punch him. My whole body, you know, you when you punch, you twist, you throw a punch, he throw me to the side.
I'm still
So the other hand is blocked.
And I'm still using my feet. I'm catching her foot with my foot. It's because remember, if I'm gonna get rolled that way and I can't use my hands, I can still post out with my foot. So we need to stop that from happening by stepping over the ankle.
Oh, stepping over the ankle.
Yeah, if you just punch him in, then you're gonna go face forward. You're gonna break your face.
Arsenio,
you don't
is
have
my
any
video delayed, or are you seeing it at the same time that I talk?
It's a little bit delayed.
Like when I say ankle, I touch my ankle.
It's not. It's like
Ankle.
Yeah, it's delayed.
Same here, except it's delayed a lot. We were wondering about that.
Yeah.
we gotta get a better camera.
Well, I think that's the internet part of it.
Yeah.
The fact that it's
What
delayed.
camera you use, Alex? What camera are you using?
That's just a webcam on his laptop, probably.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just my iPad. Is it clear?
okay. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it's good.
What about you, Arsenio?
It's my iPhone
Max Pro,
11 Pro Max.
Oh my God.
Wow.
that's top of the line.
Mr. Fancy over there.
Top of the line. Bernardo Feria is actually asking him what he uses.
11 Pro Max with a side of quiche. Hang on.
Did you play around with that a little bit, Juan?
Sorry?
Did you play with that a little bit?
Yes, yeah. I that's the same, it's basically the same principle of boxing and
Yeah,
weaving, you know, and moving and parring the punches and getting out of the way.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you're trapping the ankle, to use it as a roll.
that's where I kind of got it from, because that's my experience, right? I have a little bit of karate, a lot of boxing, and mostly Muay Thai, but jiu-jitsu didn't really address that. You know, the bicep ride is something you can do. You know, there's some things like tie them up, right? Don't let them hit you. Move your head. I did learn some of that, but if you combine your striking experience with the grappling, you're going to find a good little mix there that works for you. You know, mainly understanding the punches, where they're coming from, where they're landing, what they got to do to throw another punch, which ones are going to hurt, which ones aren't, right? And then you address the ones that are really important to address, and then get out of there. You know, use your jiu-jitsu to get out. Elbows, you know, those are a little shorter. You know, those are the ones. Most people are going to try to punch, you know, but in MMA, a really good trick is this one. I teach you guys this. Even in the guard, I could do this, but what happens is they start to catch the wrist, your wrist, right? And so now I can't throw these punches, especially with the gloves. But what I can do is roll my elbow over, right? I can roll my elbows. So that's something you got to worry about. But once you get this control, I wouldn't grab the wrist. I would, grab the whole arm and then bump and roll. Boom. Right? That's what I would do. Because if you wait too long and you're just wrist fighting, hand fighting, they can roll those elbows over, and that's dangerous. You know? So yesterday after we got off, someone had a question about a few things from back control. And you guys know that I teach back control, not to like get someone's back and then yank them on top of you like that, right? I don't really like to do that. What I like to do is to stay on top, make them carry you. And they had a couple questions about possible moves because you're trying for the choke and they're defending the choke. So go to turtle real quick and back up. And get a little angle this way. Okay. All right, actually, angle this way. Same thing, but this way. Okay. So let's say you did butterfly guard. I arm drag. Coming up, take the back. From here, you're trying to choke and they're defending. So what can you do? So one of the things I like to do, I'm gonna walk my hands over here. I keep my hook in, right? And I start taking the other out. But before I do, I hook this arm and hold it to my chest. My left shin, actually knee, is gonna go to the mat right here. But I'm gonna hook her neck with my shin and foot, okay? From here, I slide to the wrist. Now the knee that I just put down, I'm gonna shoot it under her arm. So I'm on my side, facing the leg. And my right hook stays hooking her leg. So this is close to my chest. I shot my knee through, and here I can hip in and get the arm bar, okay? As an added thing, sometimes they feel this, they know they should roll. So what I'm gonna do, wait, I'm gonna push her head under. I'm gonna help her roll. So that way I'm controlling the speed of this roll. So I push her head under as she rolls, go ahead. And then I throw that foot over her. I have the belly up. We got to the back, right? I'm dragging it back. We have the hooks in. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here. I'm trying to choke, but I don't want to get thrown off either, right? So what I do is I'm gonna post. I can hook with either arm and post with either arm, okay? But at the end, I'm actually gonna wanna have the one by her head this way, eventually, right? But for balance, you're gonna find it's easier maybe to have that one at first. Or you might like that one, it doesn't matter. If I do this one, I have to do the move pretty quick because I don't have a post over there. And when I bring my shin over, it's gonna wanna go down. It's gonna wanna go through. So if you do this side, you can slow things down a little. I put my knee over, catching her head with my neck. Here's where I would switch hands, and I can grab the pants or the leg and shoot my knee through. Okay, there's an arm bar right here if I hipped in. Now, if I feel like she's trying to jump over, I'm gonna help her, and I throw my leg over. Any questions on that one? All right, let's try that.
Can you do it from the other angle?
Yeah.
Because like I said, because of the delay, you're saying you're shooting your knee through, but
You're not seeing that part?
not seeing it because it's on the opposite side.
See this way?
So he's gonna need to see.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or what I'm trying to ask?
This
Put
way.
your head this way.
Yeah. That way.
It's because my body gets in the way. I'll raise my body up so you can see that. Right here, got the hooks, right? I'm trying to choke. She's bending. My knee comes through, and then here. It had to go slow motion, but there it is. You see it?
That hook stays in.
This hook's still here. The
And
other
the other
one
one is over
the other
her
one's
neck.
Her head, see it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm squeezing my knees. I'm holding this and my hip in, right? If I feel she's gonna roll, I help her.
With that outside leg. Okay, I got you. And then catch it for a normal armbar.
Yes, it'll be a common normal armbar.
So let me,
Go ahead, Juan.
okay, can you see us here?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and do it. That's better. Yeah.
So here's the turtle, correct? I want to close it, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get the back completely. Right. So now we're assuming the chokes was not working. So you're gonna pick one of those arms and you're gonna scoop it with your elbow from underneath. So go under his armpit, scoop that out. Good. Now slide your left knee over his neck and onto the mat. Just the knee.
You gotta pin it.
You're gonna put your foot, hook his neck with your top of your foot.
Your knee goes to the
So
mat.
go over his head to the other side. Your shin's gonna go on the back of his neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
And put your foot on the back of his neck too. On top, on the back of his head.
I see.
Yes. There you go. Now, I want you to keep the arm, and don't put any pressure yet. Slide your knee under his shoulder. Your left knee goes under the shoulder. You're gonna face his feet. Yes. And right there, you can armbar him, right?
Right.
Yeah. If you can't tap the ground, say it. You can say it. Now, sometimes they'll roll, which he probably won't know how to roll yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to roll completely.
But just the first part is good enough for now. And then later when he learns more or you're at the gym, we can work on the second part.
You would have to roll. You wouldn't have to roll this way,
Yeah. So,
over yourself, underneath yourself, yeah.
right. Yeah. And that just comes with time. Learning. The more layers of the onion that we uncover, the more moves we need to develop and the more moves that we can do to somebody because they know how to respond, right? Some don't know how to roll, we're just gonna do the belly down armbar. Someone knows how to roll, we're gonna go belly up, but they probably know how to defend that too. So we're probably gonna flow into another move, maybe the triangle or the omoplata.
There's nothing else there. There's no Kimura there. It feels like there should be something else there. Right? If you're riding his back and they're just hanging out here.
On your hands. You said something about a reverse Kimura?
Is there something there? It just feels like there should be.
You got a lot of choke and stuff.
Yes, I can do something like that. All right, scoot it up. So this is from catch wrestling as well.
Okay.
I know I had mentioned a move from there. So this hand can come from underneath and I can hold her wrist, right? The
Okay.
opposite leg hook can come out and I'm here, right? So let me move my leg. See the grip I have?
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Now I can keep that hook in so she doesn't roll, and I can hold the wrist.
Okay.
If she tries to roll, what I want to do is keep my chest on her back.
This.
So you can't roll, right? I take my feet out, and I can like flatten her by pulling, right? There's a lot of stuff I can do here. I can finish.
Yeah.
I can put it behind her back and like mount on the back, like a back mount. There's some things that I can do, yeah.
Okay.
Without getting too nasty, there's a lot of catch wrestling stuff that I can use that and then add a lot more pain to it, right? Go back to that spot.
Sorry, Rita.
That's okay.
Once I get
Can we talk
here,
about, can we talk
I
about the
can flatten her
dorsal?
out, right? I can come around and I'm pinning her elbow with my knee.
Oh, wow.
I can't take that out.
Yeah.
And what I can do is bring my fist through. That's some other options.
This
I
is
can do that and add a crossface to it, right? So
Thank you.
there's a lot of mean stuff.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
I love it.
The shoulder lock I was referring to is this.
Mhm.
So we go to the So when I get in the back here, I like to stretch them out. So I'm gonna dig my heels that way. I'm gonna dig my underhooks that way.
Sorry, Rita.
They're out, right? So here, can you get out?
No, I can't.
I can cause a lot of pain if I hip into her back.
But
Right.
that's illegal.
No, it's just pressure.
Okay.
Okay. So now what I want to do from here, and some things, this also from wrestling, is I can like move her head around, right? Make things really uncomfortable. I don't usually do that. You might see me doing that a little bit. And when I'm trying to do that is this, like if I feel her trying to roll this way, so like pull this arm under and try to go that way, I will bring her head that way. That stops there. So if she tries to roll the other way instead, then I start moving her head that way, right? So I might do that. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to stop the roll, right? Now, for the shoulder lock, I'm going to go underhook. I walk my fingers up like a spider. And then see this wrist? I want to bring it in with my elbow, like she's gonna, almost like she's going to scratch the back of her head, right? I'm trying to make that happen with her elbow. I'm going to go under and hug it. I'm going to put my chest weight on the shoulder. And then that's the shoulder lock.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Uh-uh.
Can you see that from there?
Yeah. So it's similar.
It's at
It's
the bottom
similar,
of the picture.
Is the same
Yes.
one that we did?
similar to that one that from the side control, right?
That we had yesterday with the Kimura.
Yeah.
They
Behind the back. Yeah.
This looks the same thing, but with the hand now facing that way when you're belly down.
Okay.
Same grip, same.
Belly down, locked out. She can't roll.
Yeah.
Focus on the position.
Sorry,
And I'm
Rita.
trying to get her arm, go flat out like that. I'm trying to get her arm in this position here, right? And I hug it, so I got a nice bar right under there. My weight is right down her shoulder, right on the joint. So that way when I raise the elbow, it's all in the shoulder.
There's no place for it to go. Yeah.
Oh,
That's nice.
And then it's my whole body against just her shoulder.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
he's being nice to us.
I am being nice.
He's showing me his evil side in
A lot of mean
this
stuff.
move.
Let me show one other one. So turtle, but face that way this time.
Okay.
So I talked about some like turning around. So we have here, we have the back and everything. What I can do is shoot in one of these hooks and come up. And now
Wall.
there's a leg right here. Right? We have that. I can double up on that and pull, right? So there's that. And then the wall shifts. So face that way this time. So same motion. Same motion. But instead of being under, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this. So I put in that hook, sliding back. And this hand is going here. Right? The arm is still in. I lock my arms right under the armpit. Let's put her head on the mat and the leg over the back. Here I squeeze, and that's a Walsh choke. So you have that as well.
What's your grip on that?
I hold just here.
That's it?
Yeah, right under the armpit. And
That's basically a guillotine, right?
it's same motion as a guillotine, but the arm is in. It's like a guillotine, but the arm is on the same side as the head. So it becomes an arm triangle. Right? So an arm guillotine, the arm would be here under my other armpit.
So you gotta turn around so I can see.
So in the guillotine, her arm's there, right?
and I'm just literally choking the neck, and the arm happens to be here. And it can't really defend because my body's in the way. With the Walsh, the arm is over here. So the shoulder's in her neck. So my biceps on one side and the shoulders on the other, giving her the shoulder.
Oh, okay. So
So that's,
it's more of a triangle versus a, yeah.
yes, an arm triangle. Yep. So arm triangle
essentially,
is like a family of chokes. Like a
so from start to finish, that's get the back, get both hooks in.
Yep, get your points.
Then you choose which side to slide off of.
Correct.
You're going to slide off and retain that side hook.
Yes. And then I can go Walsh, or I can
either foot lock,
deeper towards the leg and get the leg. But the leg would be
leg
a
lock.
crush. So that one's
Half.
more, yeah. That one you can't really do till higher belts if you're competing.
right, in competition. But then the other one is hold the arm, and then
Yeah.
are you sitting back or
My
Position.
hands here and my
combination?
heads.
Right.
The transition is, I was under the armpits, right? That keeps me from falling. If I'm over here head hunting, it's easy for her to knock me off the top. If I have arms under the armpits, even just one as a seatbelt, I'm less likely to fall off the top. So I start with both under, and then I can start working my chokes. If that's not working, right, this is the choke direction. I'm gonna go more like here, right? Take your foot up, and I'm there.
You see it?
And you're already there, yeah.
Yeah. Then I put her head on the mat, throw my leg over, and I'll choke.
And that hook, does that hook remain inside the whole time?
Yeah.
Your left leg was on the
Yeah,
inside.
as I slide, so it started here. As I
Right.
slide off, it goes all the way through and over her calf.
Over her calf, right. Okay.
So I'm here, it shoots in deeper, and then I can actually see my foot when I'm done.
Right.
Lay on her head and throw my leg over. So that's the end position.
And that's to keep her from rolling?
Yeah,
that correct?
or anything.
To keep from
Also,
rolling
retains
and throwing the leg over?
position. If she gets out, now I have a half guard, right? If I didn't have that and she got out, she would have side control. Right? The way for her to get out of these chokes, when they're under my armpit, is to get her body to the other side. So if my leg's on her back, she can't jump over, right? And the half guard also makes it difficult. But mainly the leg over her back.
Right.
Keeps her from rolling, keeps her from jumping to the other side.
You want to say Trump?
Yep. Think of anything else real quick?
Let me ask something
Yeah.
from the turtle.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, we had a rule out to end up in side control, basically as a defense to the turtle. If the guy's on top, you roll him out, you end up in his side control. Or you end up in side control over that person.
To defend it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this was something I was going to go over with like sit outs and how they can be useful in different spots. So I'll use that as an example. So if I'm in turtle and she's trying to get my back, so she's trying to get my back. What a sit out is good for is to get my hips out. Right now my hips are free. But see, my hips are free. If she's more behind me, they're still kind of free. Step up. Yeah. So now my hips are a little more controlled, right? A little more controlled now. So what's the sit out for is you can get my hips out, right? She doesn't want me to do that. So after I do this, what's she gonna do? She's gonna follow me. Right?
Follow.
So go back. So what I'm gonna do on my sit out is I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna hook her elbow. Okay. Now, as I this way, as I turn back to my knees, I know she's gonna follow. I shoot my arm through, and then I can go to side.
So
Also from wrestling, actually.
right. So that basically starts as a sit out.
Correct.
Okay.
We call that one the Peterson roll. Other ways you can use the sit out for a turtle. This becomes a chain, okay? We have sit out and turn in. So don't follow me. I'm gonna sit out and I'm gonna turn in.
Now it faces each other.
Now, we got out, right? I'm facing her, we're more neutral, right? I might stand up, or she's probably gonna follow me, and I'm gonna have to do other moves. We also have sit out, turn out. So we're here, I sit out, now I turn out.
You know, he got me.
Right?
I'm facing.
Similar, first, I can chain those two together, right? So, behind me, try to follow me. So I sit out, turn in, sit out, turn in, sit out, turn out. Oh, she lost me, right? Hold me. Sit out, turn out, sit out, turn in. Okay. So she's trying to follow you. You just sit out, turn in, sit out, turn out, randomly. I like sit out, turn in 2 times, and then sit out, turn out, right? Because the first time you might get out. But if you don't, you do it again, right? Now they think they got you down, right? Okay, I'll just follow them. Work the first time, it's gonna work the second time. And then the third time you turn out. They don't expect it, okay? But chaining those works really well. Let's try that one before we go too far. Go ahead and do the sit out, turn in, because that's gonna help you with the Peterson roll.
Now, is that Peterson with a T or a D?
With a T. Tomato.
So,
And you'll find that in our videos.
Peterson roll?
I have a few of these. There's another playlist, Wrestling for Jiu-Jitsu, but it'll be in the regular playlist too.
Okay. And is that strictly from turtle?
The sit out can be used in a lot of other cases as well.
Okay.
But
But I mean the Peterson roll.
Because he asked. Okay, again?
The Peterson roll. No, that's
That's specifically the one I showed.
from turtle.
The elbow. Technically,
You're trying to get this.
do that roll from standing, right?
Oh, okay.
Someone's trying to pick you up and slam you down. As they pick you up, you're hooking the elbow, and as they're slamming you down, you roll, and you're gonna end up on top.
Right. Okay.
Turn out.
So from here,
Don't worry about ending up in a good position on him. Just worry about turning out onto your knees. Yeah, that's an in, right? In would be towards the center line, towards his center, which is like the way his head is facing. When you saw I turned out, I had more of an angle on her back because I went outside of her line of sight. So those are turn ins. Yep.
okay, that's it.
Yep. Turn out will be the other way.
So
So you sit out the same, and now turn the other way. You end up on your knees almost behind him. Yep. That's it. Yeah. So you have sit out, turn in, sit out, turn out.
ahead.
So this knee is supposed to be down on the back.
Right. Either way, it doesn't matter. So here.
Yep. Yes. Now that's good, but you're doing one thing that I wouldn't recommend, which is reaching behind you. You never, so here's a principle. You never want to reach behind, okay? Rita's behind me. I don't want to reach behind. What if she grabbed my arm?
So I want to be here. I want to be here.
I don't want to reach behind. What if she grabbed that arm?
So I want to kind of be here.
So just keep it in front of you. You might elbow a little bit just to move them away, but you don't need your whole arm. And then you turn. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and do the Peterson now. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit out. When you sit out, you're going to hook his elbow. with your arm that's on top. And then you're gonna turn in, rolling underneath.
So,
Sit out, turn in. Yep, sit out, hook his elbow. Now, as you turn in, roll. There you go. Roll towards the feet. There you go. Got it. Is good? Okay. Read it. So we did a move. We did a move where we turned in. Let's do a move where we turn out. So the turn in and out can be used by themselves, but we can do something like the Peterson to do a sweep. Go on the same side you were on, so that way it's similar. And actually, let's turn this way. So now I'm going to sit out again. But this time, when I turn, so that would be in, this would be out. This time when I go to turn out, I'm going to go with my elbow over and under her armpit, and I'm going to reach under her leg. Okay, so I got her hand here, right? And now I continue using this like a crowbar. I'm going to turn out, going under. We call this a switch.
Switch.
Yes. Over here. When I sit, so if I leave this hand here, and she pulls my arm backwards, slow. Now I'm gonna fall. My arm's behind my back, right? So when I sit out, I'm gonna go and hold my arm or something. I'm gonna do that first. So I turn my palm upward and then place it down. Sit. This elbows the armpit, goes under her inner thigh. And now I pry and get behind her.
I feel like an armbar.
So,
Tight.
yeah, she said she feels like there's an armbar dangerous. That's why you can get behind. They don't hold on to you anymore because they're worried about their arm. But we have another switch. Put your leg over my leg. Yeah. Called a power switch. So I go here. The power switch, I hold this wrist as I go here. And I can stay here as long as I want. She's saying tap. I can stay here as long as I want. Right? But if it's not tapping her, then I can let go of the wrist and finish. So the power half, we're adding a little bit of pressure by raising the wrist and curling under her leg before we go. Then we go. The point is not to make her tap, but to get behind her. But who knows, you might get people to tap.
The wrist, grab the wrist. No. So, turn the hand.
Yeah, and once you free it, put it down right away. If you leave it in the air, they're gonna grab it again. And then just put it down. Yeah. Now over the armpit, under the thigh.
Yeah.
Curl under his thigh. Yep. Yeah, and then go behind.
You stop it.
If you're still holding his wrist, he won't be able. If you're still holding his wrist, you won't be able to get behind him because you're gonna armbar him, which works as well, right?
Yeah, I know. He feels my pain.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go like this first.
Yeah. The idea of that one is don't put it back in the same spot. So
Not yet, not yet. Look.
after I do that, look, if it's here on this line where I started and I go here, I put it in a new spot. It's about 1.5 feet away from where it originally was. Yeah. Good. Nice. Now, don't hold the wrist forever or else you won't be able to get behind.
You're trying to get behind you. You have to go
Curl his inner thigh. So with your left hand, all right, watch my arm.
Oh, I see. I didn't grab the thigh.
Ready? So this hand goes under her thigh. Like I'm gonna curl her thigh, right? This is if I want the extra pressure, but if I don't let go, she won't be able to let me go behind her. This is painful. She's gonna let me go behind her, right? And I still have her in her thigh. If I've shown you the spiral ride, you can go straight into the spiral ride from there.
So,
Yeah, just okay. Go on. Get in your position. All right.
Yes. Now go under the thigh
Right.
and go behind.
Let go of the,
Let go of the wrist
and then get it on my back.
and then go behind. Yeah. So holding the wrist, that's like a checkpoint. See if you can make them tap there. If you can't make them tap, go behind, get good position.
No, you did have it.
Because if you don't, they're going to figure out a way to get a good position themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, and then go behind.
That hurts. If you rotate it more,
So you're grabbing the thigh, the grip, if you hold the arm and you're grabbing the thigh at the same time, you're hyperextending his elbow, technically.
Correct. So let's put it this way. Most people in jiu-jitsu that I've done this to, tap.
Yeah, yeah.
In wrestling, I did the power half. I was very good on the ground, right? So we have a lot of groundwork too in wrestling. And I made most of my points I scored on the ground, even though I have a lot of like 5-point throws and stuff. I did a lot of points on the ground. I've done power switches many, many, many times. Wrestlers don't tap. There's no tapping, right? So sure, I got behind them, but there was no tapping, right? So, and no arms ever got broke either. So
They're just going to let you get behind.
the power switch, yeah, the power switch is more pain compliance. They're probably not going to tap. They shouldn't be tapping, put it that way. Jiu-jitsu taps because they're careful. They're like, oh crap, that hurts. Let me tap, you know? But wrestler, they don't have that luxury, so they tough it out. And when they tough it out, they don't get their arm broke. So they realize, okay, yeah, it's just painful, you know? So I wouldn't rely on that as a tapping point. I would just see if they do. And then you give it about 3 seconds. And if they don't tap, go behind them. Keep working your back tape, right? That's the best bet, right? Best plan of action. It does hurt, but once somebody's had it done to them enough times, you know, they realize that by the time you're actually going to break their arm, they can move and get out of there, right? And so that's why I'm saying use it as a checkpoint. Don't give it more than a few seconds, and then work on getting a better position. Because from there, if he finds a way to jump over me, now I'm on the bottom, and I'm definitely not hurting his arm anymore, right? So that's not a spot I want to stay. So that could be, actually it is the difference that a lot of people will refer to with jiu-jitsu and catch wrestling is the motto. The motto of jiu-jitsu is position before submission, where the motto for catch wrestling is more or less submission from any position, right? So a catch wrestler is going to try to get that, right? They're going to try to get that arm bar, but they're also going to try to improve their position as well. Where a jiu-jitsu guy, he probably wouldn't try to get that submission there because he doesn't have good position, right? He's not in mount. He doesn't have the back, right? He's not in a good, he doesn't have guard. He's not in a position of control. He's just more of a, he's in a transition at that point. For a catch wrestler, they're looking for those spots in transitions. Jiu-jitsu philosophy is more position first, if that makes sense. And so it is there, and that's why I want to, mention it. But you should be moving on as well, moving forward, right? Like the question of the back control, and if I can't get the choke, what should I do? We don't sit on the back and keep going for a choke. We try to find something else. And so that we had a couple options today. So that's the power switch and the regular switch and the power switch, right? So get the regular switch down first. If you can get that motion down first without holding the wrist, you're going to have a lot better success with the power switch, right? And you can cause a lot of pain with that. And honestly, if you get good at it, you're going to be able to break people's arms with it, right? For sure. So that would mean it would be a good submission. But always ready to take the back after that, right? And I mentioned flowing into the spiral ride. Your hands are in a good position for spiral ride being your next movement, which is also from wrestling, and that's a breakdown. A breakdown in wrestling, we want to get people to their back. So in wrestling, if someone's turtled,
we call referee position, you need to break them down, meaning you need to make them go flat to their belly, right? So spiral ride gets the person flat to their belly. And in jiu-jitsu, why that's good? Because if they can't turtle anymore, they don't want to be on their belly. They're going to turn to their back and try to get guard. But if you're doing the spiral ride, they're not going to get guard. They're going to give you side control, right? And so you're going for a potential back take, but can't get it, and you end up breaking them down, and they give you side control, which is just as nice. In fact, depending on the scenario, you could have been passing the guard, which is the reason they turtled, and if they didn't stay there long enough, now you're getting side control, which is basically you pass their guard, all right, if that makes sense. If all that happens in the right time and in that order, then you get 3 points for doing that movement, which is not very hard at all. What else?
No, I think we,
Say again?
I said, I think we've covered a lot. You know, one of the things I want to review later on is obviously the triangle, the arm bar, what else? The
Omoplata.
omoplata, the knee on belly transition to arm bars from same side versus opposite side.
Those are
Those
good.
things, yeah, I want to drill that over with him. Because that.
Yeah, and then there's some good drills for that too, neon belly drills. For the guys that have dummies, that's good. Yeah. The guys that don't have dummies, they're gonna feel it, so maybe not so good.
We posted a video.
Yeah, like Alex.
Yeah.
Can you show the neon belly spin? There's that one. That one.
Yeah.
That's a good drill right there, Juan, that Alex is doing. And that's gonna help you when it's time to do the arm bars from there. See that going across the body? Both knees touching at the same time.
I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. And then the step over, pivot your knee, and then step out. And then knowing that both ways.
Transition with both knees.
Damn, been a while.
Good.
No, the spinning one, that's where we reach back on the knee, correct?
Yes. Yeah. And with
And
your
then
dummy, you
spin.
might not be able to so easily.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it on the dummy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
But that's good. It's going to give you better balance because you're not going to be reliant
Have
on
anything to bounce on? Okay, I got you.
Actually, that Adam's dummy is he's got long arms and long legs. My dummy is short.
You can do it on a pillow. I did it at home on a pillow for the blue belt test. I did that 1,000,000 times. Yeah.
He's practicing his 4 knees on belly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, we get it.
So mine is occupied right now.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's funny. We got the kids actually for their class working with a pillow. So they're doing
Yeah,
neon belly drills and things.
I'll tell you what, I was really surprised. I actually put I went and bought a pool noodle and put that in for like give the arms a little more support.
Yeah, that's great. I might do that with
Yeah,
mine.
it actually helps. Yeah, it actually helps a little bit,
It gives it more of a skeleton, right? More of a
Right. Yeah.
Great idea.
longer arms because these dummies' arms are short.
Yeah.
Mine's the pillow, the one that they did 2 pillows, 1 pillow, and the towels. That looks pretty good.
On the Girls and Geese. I posted a link that Rita found in the Grappling Mastery members group, and it's from
Right.
Girls and Geese, like how they built their dummy. So
Oh, okay, cool. And that's posted on the
yeah,
page?
I put it in the group so that way we had an idea.
Okay.
Is that the one, the guy that made it out of pillows and towels?
That's what I followed.
Yep.
Made it out of, rolled up a bunch of towels and made the arms.
Hey, Coach,
Yeah.
is there, so since we started doing this, I started playing with the top, because I do that scissor sweep a lot, or the hook sweep a lot, and I get caught in the side control, on the half guard, right? So,
Yeah.
so here, hook sweep, and I'm gonna get caught in the half guard.
Yeah.
So playing with this stuff, reverse case of Gatami, right? Is there a choke here? Is there anything here other than Kimura, other than attacking just for the Kimura? So in other words, if I'm attacking this arm for this or whatever, is there a choke here?
Yeah.
Is there anything here?
Yeah. So,
You have a gi?
I feel like the neck is exposed, but I don't know what's there.
yeah, there's a choke. I'll show you one. And this is another, take this as a principle, right? Because this same choke can be done from other positions with the collar, with the lapel, right? It's the same. This is actually one that Marcio did on me one day. So the instructor that I worked with, we rolled every day. He was a black belt, we rolled every day. And he would have a hard time with my half guard. And so one day he's talking to Marcio and they're like looking over at me, but they're talking in Portuguese. So I don't know what they're saying. And then I know a little bit, right? And he's like, basically goes, well, let me just show you. And so he puts me in, he put Marcio in the half guard, and they couldn't figure out what I was doing that was giving him trouble. Marcio was getting out of it super easy. And so then they pulled me over, and the guy's like, show him your half guard. And I was like, okay. So I did my half guard on Marcio, and Marcio pretty much did this move to me. But the way he did it, like I wasn't choking, so I didn't tap, but it hurt a lot. And I was like, I don't know if I should tap, like out of respect, or not tap because it's not choking me. So I just didn't tap. And my neck goes crack, 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 crack. Like all the vertebrae start cracking. And then I still didn't tap, but then Marcio stops. He goes, you have a good guard. Well, my neck's not that good now. So turn your head towards the camera. All right.
Yeah.
So, and then down this way. So get some more. Okay. Yes. All right. So,
He's gonna
reversing
teach you the
half
twister.
guard. So before you reverse the half guard, let's slip in our hand in the collar here.
Easy.
She said easy. And now let's reverse our half guard, putting our elbow on the other side of her neck.
Oh, okay.
So we're choking her with our wrist here and our tricep here. When I reverse my half guard, it makes this arm pull up like that because my shoulders turn.
Is that underhand?
Underhand, yes. Oh, he saw.
You saw it?
Who wants to see it again?
That last time because I'm off.
All right. So
Okay.
I'm going to circle. So here, this is my balance. Whenever I put this hand in, even if I have the mount, I need this hand right here. Because if I'm like going to choke here, she can just bump and roll me. So I don't want to just reach like that. I follow my hand with my weight and then drop my elbow. Now, tighten up. And then I'm going to reverse my half guard. To get that grip.
Now, is there a variation of that in no gi? Just grabbing the shoulder, the trap?
That won't work without a gi because I need something for my anchor hand, the hand that's originally in the collar. So I need a lapel or a collar. I'm on the street, their t-shirt, right? If you're doing weapons, the handle of the stick or whatever it is, right? And then you could do it. But you need something secure so your wrist bone, your radial bone can go into the neck.
So there's nothing here, right? There's no, unless.
You wouldn't be able to circle north-south because your leg.
Right.
You could preemptively set that up, assuming you can get your leg out, and then you're past, and then you can go straight into that. Yeah.
Right.
So you could use it ahead of time to set things up.
It's just that the neck feels so exposed here. I was just thinking I thought there must be something, you know, because once you're like, you like to do that, you say the scarecrow, and you scarecrow up.
You could do that under the elbow, or under the armpit, sorry, with your elbow, and then get both their hands up like that.
Yeah.
But that's mainly gonna just give you more control and it's gonna hurt their defenses so that you can start working on the leg.
Well, I like the, when you said the person's gonna wrap here, let them wrap, and then you come here to attack the wrist to drive it.
Just don't let it get too close, too far under your armpit, because then you won't be able to, right? And then I gotta lean back to reach it, and they just follow me, and they're gonna end up getting on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing the reverse,
right? So when they reach, I can get their wrist.
Okay. And when you're doing the reverse half guard, the bottom foot, is that actually down? Like
the foot's gonna be, that one. Yeah. Come here.
Again, I'm not.
Head that way.
Sorry, guys, half guard stuff.
No, you're good.
This way?
I'm wedging it under her hip.
Okay.
Yeah. And this foot's close to the butt line. I walk this foot close to the butt.
All right.
If I do that, I can curl this. If I am here, then I push the knee. All right? She tries to bite on the knee again.
Hands waiting.
When I curl this, I do that. I scissor. Now she's quite close, right?
Yeah.
I can go down to the ankle again and start to hurt the knee. She tapped that. Right? Now all this hurts. I open, she kicks through because she doesn't want to be so hyperextended, and now my leg's out. Right?
Yeah.
Keep transitioning.
All right, guys. It was beautiful to have you the whole week.
She don't want to get beat up anymore.
Thank you so much.
It's a good stretch.
I'll be here Monday
Good
again.
stretch.
What's that say?
Yeah.
Post. Trying to hit something here. Hold on. Cancel. I don't know what that was. Something popped up. All right. So, yeah. So we're a little past anyway, but so Monday, 4:30, we'll do this again. If anyone sees any news like, hey, you don't have to be closed anymore or whatever, shoot me a message right away so I know. I haven't really been watching the news too much, honestly.
Nah, it looks like this is gonna go on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is gonna be going on for a while.
Yeah, Disney just announced that they're closed until further notice.
Yeah.
So that's pretty scary.
That's one of that's always been our measure, right? If it closes, then we're hunkering down.
Yeah.
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 That's when you know it's serious.
Yep. So we'll
That's
keep
all right. This is good.
Keep doing this, and see how everything goes.
You know what I find is interesting. It's been interesting for me working with the dummy is that I'm actually applying more pressure because I don't have to.
You're not worried about hurting someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm actually seeing spots like that pressure pass that we've been working on. I'm seeing spots where the reason that I'm getting Kimura, like I'm not pressuring, getting pushing down.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not pushing down on the hips. It's nice to actually have the dummy for a little bit of it because I can take my time and see where things are.
So that pass is similar to the Sao Paulo pass with the type of pressure that you need, right?
Yeah.
You've seen what I did with Rita when I pushed her head away and got an easy omoplata. You're in the same danger of that. That's just like someone going for the Kimura. So you have to really dig down with that arm and not let that arm come out. It's like I finished the double leg. I'm way out here with the footer of the legs, and that's how you want to be driving that shoulder all the way down, and then your head in the other hip.
I love that pass.
Did you say Monday, 4:30 or 5:30?
Monday, oh, I'm sorry, 5:30. I'm thinking 4:30. I'm here for the kids.
And nothing tomorrow, correct?
Nothing tomorrow. We're gonna take the weekend off, and then we'll do Monday through Friday again. We'll just keep that routine. So.
Okay, awesome.
Yep. And watch the videos. So Arsenio's watching videos. Watch videos. Doesn't have to be mine. And if you get ideas and you have more questions, write them down. It's easy to forget, you know. So write down your questions as soon as you have it, and then you'll have like a list of questions.
I was gonna say,
Arsenio's not watching any videos. Arsenio's just sitting at home doing nothing.
I was gonna say I watched the Danaher videos, but really I just listened to them for 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Because he just talks and talks, and the way he does the video, it sounds like he's in another room and he's trying not to wake somebody up, because he's like, and then we do this, and then like he's so quiet about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried watching Salo Ribeiro.
Oh yeah, how was that?
A long time ago. He's worse than
Yeah.
Danaher.
Seriously?
I was watching, literally like watching for a half hour, and then he went like got his partner, and he like started to like get some grips, and he's like, oh yeah, and then also, and I'm like, no, he was almost gonna like get in a position. Like,
Ryan Hall was like
started
that too.
talking.
There was one video on a Kimura, and he talked for an hour.
Yeah.
No, it was the arm triangle, and I mean he did it once, and
Yeah.
then and it was an hour long.
Yeah, I get it, because there's so much that needs to be understood.
Well, sure, but God,
But you also want to do the move. You want to like try it. You want to make mistakes and fail yourself a couple times, and then you're more apt to listen to those details, right? 'Cause
well,
you're like,
and
That's what I tell you, man. Faria,
"Oh, I
he's
knew it,
really
but
good.
That's not working."
Furious
His
good.
videos.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the Danaher one, I mean, he's looking for mathematic algorithms. I mean, he's ridiculous.
That's funny.
He is ridiculous with this. I mean, you know, I shouldn't say that because they're killing everyone. But did anybody see the Gordon Ryan, Craig Jones?
No, it happened.
Yeah, I think it did, didn't it?
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. That's why I was asking.
Gordon Ryan won.
I don't know. I have to check. I didn't see it.
I mean, you got all that jiu-jitsu and steroids. So.
Yeah. Is Juan upside down? You all right, buddy?
He's upright.
Oh, all right. Looked like he was upside down there for a second.
Oh, he might have been.
Is that an inversion table?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see it. I gotta bring mine out.
Yeah, I was
Nice.
doing, my lower back hurts a little bit, and I was doing my inversion table.
Nice.
It's from that takedown he took you down earlier.
My dummy keeps throwing me around like a dummy. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll let you go.
Thanks, Coach.
Rita's hungry.
Thank
All
you.
right, awesome.
I'll see you guys on
See you
Monday.
Monday.
Yep.
See you Monday.